So good morning. My name is Jim Silverwood. I am the president and CEO of Affirmed Housing, and I look around the audience here today. I see many friends and associates. Affirmed Housing has now been in business for more than 26 years, based here in San Diego. We do work from the border to the North Bay. The last few years we've been particularly busy, and a little history on our work around supportive housing and the homeless. About 6 years ago, we developed our first project here in downtown San Diego with the support of then Councilman Kevin Faulkner, our mayor. Folks like Todd Gloria and Tony Atkins, all close friends of mine. And since that time, we've embraced the fact that we as an affordable housing developer have to help with the homeless crisis. That means that we're going to be out in front, we're going to be out negotiating deals and making things happen. So I'm pleased to report that Affirmed this year is now, we've crossed 45 affordable housing communities, so we've now developed more than 45. We typically right now have 5 developments under construction at any one time. And on our supportive housing, let me look at our stats here. We now have almost 1,000 supportive housing units that we've either completed or are in our development pipeline. So we know that with a building like this, we're not going to end homelessness here. Our goal, though, is to reduce homelessness. And with that, I would like to say that one of the most important factors for developers such as us to end homelessness, to reduce homelessness, we're honestly never going to end it, but we can reduce it greatly, is financial resources. So for all of you here in San Diego, you may have heard that there's going to be a housing bond on the ballot. We're not sure if it will be in March of next year or November of 2020. It's going to be very important for you. I'd ask you all to support that measure. It will bring critical resources here to San Diego, and then developers such as us and our other associates. We have some wonderful affordable housing developers here in San Diego. We can create a lot of housing and help get these homeless folks off the streets. So with that, that's the end of my little segment here, but I would like to introduce next a council member who gets that and he understands it. He knows about development. He's been here, his district is here in downtown San Diego, and he's been a strong advocate of affordable housing. With that, Councilman Chris Ward.
Thank you, Jim, and good morning, everybody. And what an exciting day for your team. I really want to thank you and the amazing thing that you're doing with Affirmed and all of your partners. The quality and dedication that's coming here into the link, and we see one of our renderings right here, is just fantastic. And it can actually be seen in every affordable housing development that Affirmed has its fingers in. It's delivered for countless families, veterans, seniors, and the formerly homeless. And this can't be said enough. Affordable housing and permanent supportive housing like here will play an important role in helping us to address and reduce the homeless crisis that we have here on our streets. And of course, for this property at the link, that means that we're going to be able to serve 86 new units of opportunity. That's 86 San Diegans, 86 people that are going to move forward with their lives and receive the necessary care and services that they need with a roof over their head and trained professionals on site for their convenience. In fact, downtown is a welcoming community. It understands San Diego's capacity to house the homeless, provide the services, and ensure that permanent supportive housing units benefit the communities that they serve. And Jim, I just want to let you know that my colleagues and I on the City Council strongly support you, and we want to see these groundbreakings continue. Last year, the City Council in October unanimously supported a resolution that I authored to try and identify and facilitate 140 permanent supportive housing units in every council district by 2021. And when you take 140 times 9, you get to over 1,200 units of opportunity in the next 2 years that will match the number of chronic homeless that we have here on our streets. We can do this, San Diego, if we all get behind every opportunity, find the funding, and actually deliver product and break ground. And while I was able to champion this resolution, our intent is always to go above and beyond that, to provide communities and you and your partners with the incentives, expedites, and land that you need to build quickly and inexpensively. So we're going to continue to work on all of these goals because the end product is here. The end product is housing. The end product is 86 San Diegans that will no longer be homeless on our streets. And this is a wonderful day. I look forward to being back with you in here in short order when we can actually cut the ribbon and welcome people into their new homes. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Council Member. So good morning. My name is Jonathan Taylor, and I'm a Senior Project Manager at Affirmed Housing. I have the honor of collaborating with a very dedicated team of professionals on the link. I'm grateful to Claudia and Connor, our architects at Carrier Johnson, and to Lisa and Jacob at Kettler Lewick, our civil engineers. I see other consultant team members here, KPFF and Formwork, so grateful to all of these folks because they have put in a ton of work to get us to this milestone. So yeah, thank you to these folks. So we can't do any of this without money, and it's my pleasure now to introduce the folks who have made the commitment to invest in this community and our residents. First up, from the San Diego Housing Commission, which is providing housing vouchers that are critical to our operations, please welcome Vice Chair of the Board, Ryan Klumpner.
Thank you. This is such an exciting day. Today's groundbreaking represents another important step towards creating new permanent supportive housing through Housing First San Diego, the Housing Commission's Homelessness Action Plan. Of the 86 studios here at the Link, 72 will provide permanent housing with supportive services for individuals experiencing homelessness. And that's so important that those two things be combined if we're going to make a difference on this very important issue. The San Diego Housing Commission awarded 72 federal rental housing vouchers through Housing First to help residents in these studios pay their rents. And these vouchers will remain with these units. So when a resident is ready to move on, the voucher will be available to help another San Diegan experiencing homelessness to move off the streets or out of a shelter and into a studio at the Link. Residents of these 72 studios will be identified through the coordinated entry system, a database that allows homeless housing providers to determine the most appropriate option to house an individual who is experiencing homelessness based on what that person and that individual needs. These studios will add to more than 6,000 housing opportunities that the Housing Commission's Housing First plan has created in less than 5 years for San Diegans who are experiencing homelessness or at risk of homelessness. In addition, 14 studios at the Link will provide an affordable rental home for individuals earning up to 50% of the area median income. That is currently about $34,000 per year for a single adult household. So thank you to Councilmember Ward for his continued support of solutions to homelessness, including Housing First and this project, the Link. It is so important that we have elected officials who can be champions for these projects and help the communities that they represent understand what a benefit these are for these areas. I also want to thank and congratulate Jim Silverwood and his team at Affirmed Housing for their partnership on this project. And also many thanks to Father Joe's Villages, which will provide the essential supportive services to the formerly homeless residents of those supportive housing units. We know that's such a critical, important part of this process. And Carlos Vasquez and Civic San Diego for their support of this project by approving the $10.3 million city loan for this development. Thank you. And finally, I want to thank my fellow Housing Commission board members, our President and CEO, Rick Gentry, and the Housing Commission staff and real estate, rental assistance, homelessness innovations. The Housing Commission looks forward to the grand opening of the Link, which will be very exciting. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ryan. So Bank of America Merrill Lynch is doubling up their support of the Link, providing both construction financing and equity investment. So please welcome the San Diego Market President, Rick Bregman.
Thank you. So Bank of America has been here in San Diego for about 95 years. Our purpose is very, very clear today. It's to help make financial lives better for our customers, our employees, and this community, the San Diego community, and all the communities we serve across the country. Lifting people out of poverty and onto the path of economic stability is one of the most important things that we can do as a bank. So Bank of America is particularly proud to provide $48 million in construction financing, as well as a low-income housing tax credit, equity investment for the Link project. Working closely with Affirmed Housing, the San Diego Housing Commission, and Civic San Diego, this public-private partnership helped make the Link a truly transformational project for our most vulnerable San Diegans. And so first of all, I'd like to acknowledge the tremendous work that Affirmed Housing does, not just in San Diego, but all over the state of California. They take on the most challenging, difficult projects because it makes a real difference in people's lives. Indeed, the city's partnership made all the difference in closing the funding and helping make this very important vision become a reality. It is a true model of public-private partnerships. Homelessness represents, I believe, our region's greatest challenge, as the root causes are insidious and pervasive. Today, San Diego has one of the largest homeless populations in America. There is no silver bullet solution, but that does not mean that we should not try and tackle it. Because helping even one family stay off the streets should be embraced as a victory. Affordable housing has been a top priority of our companies for many, many years, for decades, but we've made addressing homelessness a top priority here in San Diego, and because of that, our strategy is multifaceted. We're financing high-quality, permanent, affordable housing units. The bank last year alone financed a record $4.7 billion nationwide for the construction of new affordable housing, including permanent supportive housing for the homeless. Housing supply, though, only goes so far. That's why the bank also deploys its philanthropic capital all over the country towards supporting services that help enable vulnerable populations achieve that sustainable success. Here in San Diego, we awarded nearly $600,000 over the past 2 years to service providers that help get and keep people off the streets and lifted out of poverty. Just last week, we were able to announce that we're increasing the minimum wage at Bank of America to $20 an hour. We also announced that we've got a brand new five-year, $5 billion program that's designed towards helping low to moderate income affordable housing, home ownership. So again, very, very multifaceted. We're excited about what we're able to do, but we're here today to celebrate the Link. The Link truly brings all of this together, the supply and the services, to help set people up to make a meaningful change in their lives. The key to empowering success, and this is why we are so proud to be here today with you, Jim, and everybody else. So thank you so much.
Rick, thank you for your kind comments about Affirmed Housing. I want to take this opportunity to recognize our service partner, Father Joe's Villages. They certainly do not shy away from challenging projects as well. So please join me in thanking Father Joe's. Finally, this project and dozens like it downtown never would have made it off a spreadsheet or the drafting table without the guidance and resources of Civic San Diego. Please welcome the chair of the board, Mr. Carlos Vasquez.
Thank you. Good morning. How's everybody doing? Good. You know, one of the advantages or maybe disadvantages of being one of the last speakers is that I get to throw away my notes. Because I think everybody already touched on everything that's on here. My apologies to those that worked on giving me some things to talk about. But we concur with everything that was said here, because we know that that's an important part of what needs to happen for a project like this to go forward. I do have one thing left over, or a couple things left over. I had a couple things until the end when you just mentioned Father Joe's Villages, because that's on my notes also. So, but in 2017, we Civic San Diego created the NOFA. They had the 25 million notice of funding for NOFA, and up to this date, I was just hearing, and I thought it was two, but I'm hearing that now it's the third project that is under construction, and we had 25 million, and we were tasked to leverage that and create that so we can do some of these projects, some of this gap funding that we're doing. So we're real proud of that, and we're real happy to be a contributor to this construction, these things for the homeless that are going downtown. But let me just, one of the things as I'm standing here listening to everybody, I grew up a few blocks from here. And it's been my privilege. I've been with Civic San Diego for 4 years, and it's my privilege to have seen some of these projects that are going up in this area. When I was a kid here, growing up, and biking downtown, going to some of looking for shoes at the stores down there, I never thought that I'd be standing here with a group of you guys and talking about these great projects and these great efforts for the need that is here in San Diego. And a lot of times we hear about all the negative stuff and everybody that they're doing this and they're doing that, and yet we have a lot of people like yourselves that are here today that are working real hard to find solutions to problems that we have in the city. And that's what we like to celebrate at Civic San Diego, and that's what we like to be part of. And we're looking forward to the future so we can keep on being that kind of contributor, that kind of an asset for this great city, and make sure that projects like these and needs like these get addressed and get built. So I'd like to thank you. I congratulate you on this project. I was sharing that seems like a real small lot, and we're having a big impact with solutions, with housing for people that are in need. So thank you for being here, and I'll turn it over to Caitlin. Thank you.
Thank you, Carlos. And before we complete our event this morning, I wanted to be sure to share with you all the news that we have founded our own nonprofit called Compass for Affordable Housing. It will be led by myself. My founding partners include CFO Nikki Cometa, asset manager Brendan Bergen, and financial analyst Carly Silverwood. The mission of Compass is to provide affordable and homeless residents with a compass, the tools they need to succeed, giving them the capability and opportunities to manage their lives, providing them with the access to the services they need to succeed. One of our initial charities for Compass is to provide move-in packages for our formerly homeless residents. This includes simple necessities such as blankets, towels, and pillows. Please join us in welcoming our future residents home with these simple necessities. On our company's website, compassfah.org, you can even visit our Amazon wish list and simply purchase these items yourself, or make a modest financial donation. Anything at all is very appreciated, and I'm sure that it will go to a wonderful use. Winston Churchill once said, "We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give." Thank you all for joining us today for the groundbreaking, and I look forward to seeing you all here in approximately 1 year. And now if all of my speakers would please join us for a quick shovel photo, and then everyone, we can take lots and lots of photos and everything. And also there's coffee, water, and fruit, and bagel muffins if anyone would like to help themselves. Thank you.